Hello guys, full time in Lisbon, Sporting 2, Arsenal 2. Very strange game, probably a fair result in the end. We will get into it. A couple of things before that. First of all, I know that I've picked quite a provocative headline today. I don't often do it. I'm not chasing hits. I just had the thought during the game. I think it's interesting, and I will come to why. Second of all, thank you everyone who watched the Bournemouth video. That was the most viewed On the Whistle ever. And at the end, I remembered to say like and subscribe, and loads of you subscribe. So thank you. If you enjoy these videos, please do subscribe. I don't know how much it helps, but it makes me feel good about myself. What a lovely gift that is. Okay, what to say about this game? I think it was a really sloppy game from both sides, particularly from Arsenal, who I think are the better of these two teams. And I think a lot of mistakes were there, particularly at the back. You know, we gave Sporting a couple of goals. And so on the one hand, is that a worry? We gave Bournemouth a couple of goals at the weekend with sloppiness. You know, 2 clean sheets in the last 10 games in all competitions is not a great record for a title-chasing team. On the other, you do have to look at the amount of changes today. 6 changes, changing the centre-back partnership, giving Jakub Kiwior. In fact, I think it's pronounced Jacob. I need to stop saying Jakub. I'm sort of trying to be more sophisticated, but I think it is just pronounced Jacob. Kiwior, his first debut. Giving Matt Turner his first start in a while. Changes in the midfield too. No Thomas Partey. You do have to wonder, like, is that a big part of it as well? I think so. You know, this wasn't Arsenal's best 11. And actually, in the last 20 minutes, when we saw Jorginho come off and Nelson come off, and we saw the likes of Partey, Gabriel, and to be fair, Tomiyasu, who I thought came on and was really excellent, come onto the pitch, we looked a lot more stable defensively. Food for thought for Arteta, maybe Tomiyasu's performance tonight. I think he had a difficult day against Bournemouth, but this was good from him. I'm going to go through player by player because I don't know how much more to say about the game. 2-2, like I say, probably a fair result. Gives us a very strong chance in the second leg. They lost a couple of players tonight to suspension, which is good news. All we need to do is win at home. I think looking at them tonight, we have the calibre, the quality to do that. I wonder as well, next week with 2 home games against Sporting and Palace, will Arteta keep a more consistent 11, not make quite as many changes, 6 changes tonight? I think we'll have enough to get over the line. There were a few tired legs at the end today. Ben White looked knackered, Bukayo Saka looked knackered. That's a worry with Fulham on Sunday, but this is the period of the season we're entering into. We always knew this was coming. We're just a bit unfortunate that we've lost a few to injury at this specific point in time. Illness as well a factor. No Kieran Tierney, no Martin Odegaard through illness. I think Fabio Vieira had suffered with illness in the build-up to the game. Maybe 1 or 2 out there on the pitch hadn't felt 100%. We don't know at this point in time. Leandro Trossard out injured. Eddie Nketiah out injured. Gabriel Jesus did not travel with the squad. We could really do with 1 or 2 of those forwards back just to give us more options, more freshness in attack. 90 minutes for Martinelli and Saka today. Anyway, let's get on to individual analysis, because I really think a lot of time with these Europa games, especially when they're heavily rotated, that's the most interesting thing to assess. So Matt Turner, a couple of good saves tonight. One really good one in the first half, a shot low to his near post from Marcus Edwards. I thought it was a really good stop. But some nervy moments on the ball. And I saw a lot of criticism of him for the opening goal for Sporting, the corner into the box. Very possibly he could have come and claimed it. I mean, it was a very good delivery. I think Kiwior will have more fingers pointed at him, and probably understandably so, because he seems to kind of duck out of the challenge. I have to be honest, I think there must be some kind of miscommunication there. Otherwise, I just don't understand what happened, because, yeah, he just fully pulled out of the challenge. Turner seemed a bit more settled in the second half, and, you know, was a bit unlucky with the goal, made a save, it rebounded to a Sporting player. Ben White, like I said, I thought he looked fatigued, particularly in the second half. It's a lot of work we ask him to do, getting up and down that flank, and not work he is yet entirely accustomed to. I know he's a very important player, but I wonder if Arteta might rotate again Sunday, bring Tomiyasu in after his good substitute performance today. We shall see. Saliba I thought was really good, even in quite an unstable back line. I thought his individual moments of quality were really apparent. So calm, so composed, such a presence on the pitch. Love him. Kiro, okay, this is where we get to your friend of mine, Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche, I recently found out, has a policy where he won't, if he can avoid it, play centre-backs for just one game. So when he makes a change at centre-back, he sticks with that change for 3 or 4 games before he even considers dropping one of the partnership. Because he feels that that's the only fair way to judge and assess a centre-half, to allow him to get rhythm and understanding with a partner. And I'm sure he's not alone in that. It's just something I heard specifically that he did. He recently made a change at Everton, dropping Connor Cody and bringing Michael Keane in. And it was like, well, I'm not going to disrupt that for a few weeks now. Even if we do lose 4-0 at Arsenal. I sort of understand that. The reason I bring it up with Kivo, of course, is that this is his first start for Arsenal, playing alongside William Saliba, a player he's never played with. I don't think he had a great night, I'll be honest. The first goal, don't know what happened there, miscommunication maybe. Second goal, I think the guy runs off the back of him a little bit easy. It's interesting because he's a guy who has played a lot of his football to date as a holding midfield player. He's been a centre-half by trade, but he was kind of repurposed as a central midfield player. So in terms of experience at the top level as a centre-back, he's not got a ton. So there is going to be a learning curve for him. Tonight was part of that. But I certainly won't be writing him off because I think there are a lot of mitigating factors. Zinchenko, well, in the first 15 minutes, I was just marvelling at him. You know, he sat in there next to Jorginho and gave Arsenal an out ball. But then a bit of sloppiness crept in. I thought almost after the goal, maybe it was like he got dragged into that battle and it felt like his concentration went a little bit. So yeah, we know he's got that in his locker. It's normally once a game he makes some sort of brain fart, but tonight was sort of 3 or 4. Jorginho, yeah, okay. I think Sporting really crowded that area of the pitch, and Thomas Partey is sort of a cheat code to get you out of those situations. I don't think Jorginho is quite that. I think he needed White and Zinchenko and Vieira to kind of be around him to help him out. But he did okay, and he meant we didn't have to play Thomas Partey, which is fine by me. Granit Xhaka, I thought looked good tonight. Had his moments. I don't think he can claim that goal, that last goal. I think that's going to go down as an own goal. But one brilliant cross, Xhaka, from the right-hand side, which someone almost got onto. I think, can't remember who it was, but ended up taking out the goalkeeper. Was it Nelson? Don't know. I thought Xhaka had a solid game, and I expect him to start at the weekend at Fulham. Fabio Vieira, listen, I thought he did all right. You know, he's getting more minutes now. I think he'll play the next Europa League game as well. Played in the kind of Odegaard role tonight, finished as a sort of false 9. Had some nice touches, some good set-piece delivery. Thought it was interesting, we've been doing so many short corners of late. Vieira's in the team, suddenly we're putting in corners into the box. They obviously really rate his delivery. Bukayo Saka, I would say the right side didn't really click tonight, and Ben White was there and Bukayo Saka was there. So what that makes you think is, how important is Martin Odegaard? Very important. Let's hope he's feeling well again by Sunday. Reece Nelson, well, I mean, it was always going to be a come down after the weekend. He did okay, had some lively moments. I was a little bit surprised to see him start, actually. Not to see Nelson start, but to see Smith Rowe not start. But I guess that was about managing his minutes, managing his load. He played more at the weekend than we anticipated. Martinelli, I thought, did well tonight. Nearly scored an absolute wonder goal. I'll always remember probably this game for that. I think he should have taken the shot a little bit early. It's really interesting. We've watched so many different players play up top for Arsenal this season. We've seen Jesus, we've seen Nketiah, we've seen Trossard, we've seen Martinelli, we saw Vieira briefly tonight. They all bring slightly different qualities to it. I think what Martinelli brings is obviously direct running, dangerous movement in behind. I think where he's not quite as good, I don't know if others will agree with this, is receiving the ball very tight spaces, back to goal. You want him running into space, right? I don't think you want him receiving it with 2 defenders behind him and asking him to control it, lay it off. I think that's where Gabriel Jesus is so good, and he's going to add another dimension once he's back ASAP. Yes, and talk about the subs. Tomiyasu came on, and honestly, he looked like a player determined to make up for having been substituted at half-time the other day. Came on at left-back, which in a weird way, I'm starting to wonder if it suits him more in this system. And then there was a whole raft of changes, you know, Partey, Gabriel, Smith Rowe, just to give a bit more stability. And we sort of saw the game out. Listen, I don't know how I've wrung 10 minutes out of this. Incredible. Who saw that coming? Longest one of the season. I'm already thinking about Fulham, aren't you? Yeah. Get the Lemsip out, boys. We need to be at our best. All right. Speak soon. Bye-bye.